Welcome, deeply curious minds, to The Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're embarking on a journey that asks a truly fundamental question. What if the greatest opportunities, the acres of diamonds you seek, aren't in some distant land, or even just beneath your feet, maybe, but woven into the very fabric of who you are, just waiting to be unearthed?
That's a captivating idea. It really is.
Yeah, it's this captivating idea, isn't it? We're talking about the unseen fortune that often goes unnoticed, not because it's hidden, but maybe because we're just looking in the wrong direction.
Indeed. And we're setting the stage today with the iconic story of Ali Hafed, the Persian farmer.
Right.
It's a timeless tale, masterfully shared by Russell H. Conwell.
Classic.
Yeah. Ali Hafed sells his land to search for diamonds, only to have the richest diamond mines, actually turned out to be oil fields,
Oh, right. Oil.
discovered right there on his old farm.
Yeah.
It's this profound irony, and it's a perfect jumping-off point for us.
To explore how we can recognize and seize that latent potential.
Exactly. Not just in our immediate environment, but maybe more profoundly within ourselves, our mindset, our capacity for action, and, our ability to connect.
Absolutely. So our mission today is really to unpack the immense power of mindset, decisive action, and effective communication.
That's the core.
We'll reveal how our inner convictions, the crystal clear clarity of our goals, and the very way we interact with the world are fundamental tools for success, for impact.
And we're drawing from a really rich tapestry here. Historical figures, philosophical insights, some invaluable personal development wisdom.
Right. You'll hear from ancient rhetoricians, civil rights champions, modern masters of influence.
Yeah, all guiding us towards a deeper understanding of, human potential.
This deep dive, it'll guide you from understanding your internal drivers, the importance of resilience, to mastering external influence and communication, helping you navigate life's inevitable challenges, maybe even embracing vulnerability as a strength.
That's key. And this isn't just about famous figures from history.
Yeah.
It's about extracting actionable insights for your own life, for understanding what truly shapes destiny.
So get ready to re-examine what you think you know about opportunity and personal power.
And discover the diamonds that are truly yours to claim.
Okay, let's begin our exploration. Let's dig into what Russell Conwell famously called acres of diamonds, that inner game of opportunity that starts right where you are. So we kick things off with Russell Conwell's enduring message about, the ubiquity of local opportunity.
Yes.
That parable of Ali Hafed is just so powerful. It really sets the tone for this idea that what we seek is often closer than we imagine. Can you walk us through the full details again, the classic story and maybe the psychology behind it?
Certainly. The story begins with Ali Hafed. He's a wealthy Persian farmer, seemingly content, right, living on his beautiful, fertile farm.
Got it.
Then one day, an old priest visits him and tells him about diamonds, describes them as like congealed drops of sunlight.
Wow.
And explains that even a thumb-sized diamond could purchase an entire county.
Okay, so big value.
Huge value. He tells Ali Hafed that a mine of diamonds could place his children upon thrones through vast wealth, immense power, influence.
Right.
Ali Hafed goes to bed that night a dramatically changed man. He's no longer content. He feels poor. And it's not because he actually lost anything.
No, his circumstances didn't change.
Exactly. It's because the desire for greater riches has now taken root. It creates this profound sense of dissatisfaction, maybe even fear of poverty. He becomes utterly consumed by the idea of finding his own diamond mine.
That's a powerful psychological shift, isn't it? From contentment to profound discontent, not because of an actual change in circumstance, but just a change in perception. In desire.
Precise.
So this internal turmoil leads him to make a life-altering decision, right?
Yeah.
He sells the farm.
He does. He sells his farm, according to Conwell, for what seems like a mere $833.
Which sounds incredibly small today.
Yeah, tiny, but it's still a significant amount back then. He then travels far and wide, searching for diamonds across Europe, Asia.
The classic quest.
The quest. Eventually, he depletes his funds and dies impoverished, disillusioned, in a foreign land.
Tragic.
But here's where the profound irony of the tale really unfolds. This illustrates Conwell's core message so perfectly.
Okay.
The man who purchased Ali Hafed's farm goes out to arrange for watering his cattle in a brook behind the barn. He notices this strange, iridescent film on the water. Curious, he digs a bit, and soon discovers that the previous owner, Ali Hafed, had for 23 years been unknowingly damming back a flood of coal oil, petroleum.
No way!
Yes, this land, the very one Ali Hafed sold. It became the site of Titusville, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
And the oil discovered there was later valued in the hundreds of millions, then billions of dollars.
Right.
One of the richest oil fields in the world.
Wow. So the richest oil fields, literally right under his nose, on the very land he sold while he was chasing this perceived distant dream of diamonds. This connects directly to our listeners, doesn't it? It highlights that profound irony of overlooking opportunities right where we are. Maybe due to dissatisfaction or just a belief that better must lie elsewhere.
Absolutely. It's not just about the physical diamonds or the oil. It's about the internal lens, how we view our circumstances.
Right.
The core lesson here is, stop chasing perceived distant riches, maybe born of that internal sense of lack. And instead look closely at your current circumstances, but with a fresh perspective.
Open your eyes.
Yeah. Conwell's message is a powerful call to open your eyes to the latent potential in your immediate surroundings.
Yeah.
Your existing relationships, your current skills, your present work. It really challenges that very human tendency to romanticize the distant and, devalue the present.
And Conwell didn't just tell this parable. He applied this lesson directly to his audience in Philadelphia.
He did.
He explicitly stated, the opportunity to get rich, to attain unto great wealth, is here in Philadelphia now, within the reach of almost every man and woman who hears me speak tonight.
A bold claim.
Very bold. And he backed this up by claiming that never in the history of the world did a poor man without capital have such an opportunity to get rich quickly and honestly as he has now in our city. That's quite something, especially for that time.
It is. And what's truly fascinating here is Conwell's emphasis on keen observation and genuine service.
Not complex schemes.
No, not complex financial schemes or speculative investments. Something far more accessible. Seeing the existing demand and simply supplying it.
Just meet the need.
Exactly. He challenges the common notion that wealth creation is this mysterious, far-off endeavor needing special connections or vast capital. He's essentially saying that wealth is right within the sound of your voice.
If you pay attention.
If you're attuned to the specific needs, problems, desires of your community. And this isn't just about Philadelphia, obviously.
No, it's universal.
It's a universal principle for recognizing market gaps, building value, whether you're in a bustling city or a small town.
Yeah.
It's about paying attention to what people actually need and offering it.
That makes perfect sense. It's about being present, observant. And he uses that wonderfully relatable personal anecdote to drive this home, the jackknife story.
Oh, yeah, from his father's country store.
Right. He recounts how, when he was a young man put in charge, he'd repeatedly tell customers, no, we don't keep jackknives, and then just, whistle a tune, seemingly unconcerned.
Yes, and his later realization was profound. Almost a moment of personal reckoning, you could say.
How so?
He understood that the foundation of godliness and the foundation principle of success in business are both the same precisely.
Interesting connection.
He explains that if he had been running the store on a Christian plan, a godly plan, which he equates with a truly service-oriented approach, he would have had a jackknife for the third man who asked.
He would have anticipated the need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This anecdote demonstrates a core principle. Genuine service, anticipating and understanding customer needs, even for something simple like a jackknife, are paramount. Failing to meet a clear, repeatedly expressed demand, even for something seemingly trivial, is a missed opportunity. Not just for profit, but for kindness, utility, building trust.
It raises an important question for all of us, doesn't it? How many jackknife opportunities are we missing daily by not being truly attuned?
To the expressed or unexpressed needs of others around us. Yeah, it's a great question.
It's all about paying attention, being responsive, that deep listening, that observational acuity.
Which brings us to John Jacob Astor.
Yes, the famous American businessman. He provides another excellent example with his bonnet strategy, right, that redefines success.
Astor's story is remarkable. Its simplicity and effectiveness. After foreclosing on a struggling millinery store, a shop selling ladies' hats, he didn't inject more capital, didn't hire expensive consultants.
What did he do?
Instead, he simply sat on a bench in a nearby park, day after day, just observing women's bonnets as they passed by.
Just watching hats.
Just watching hats, meticulously studying the specific styles ladies like the shape of the frame, the color of the trimmings, the crinklings in the feather.
He really paid attention to detail.
Identified patterns, preferences, what was truly desirable. Then he instructed the store to display only those specific styles in the window,
Ah, curated.
curated based on his diligent first-hand observation.
So he didn't overwhelm customers with a vast, unfocused selection of every bonnet imaginable,
No,
but curated it based on diligent observation of actual existing desire. That's a truly thought-provoking approach to, well, market research.
exactly. His success came not from grand schemes or vast capital,
But observation.
but from diligent, patient observation and catering precisely to existing desires. This illustrates that success can come from deeply understanding a niche and delivering exactly what's needed rather than broad, unfocused effort.
It's a powerful aha moment, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
Sometimes the most profound insights come from simply paying meticulous attention to the world around you, understanding human behavior, and then acting with precision.
It underscores that profound success often hinges on careful study and precise customer-centric action.
Rather than just brute force or large investment.
What's truly interesting here is that all this external observation and action, it really has to start with an internal shift, doesn't it? A change in our mental landscape.
That's right. Meter game.
So let's turn our attention to the internal world now with the mindset of achievement, from thought to action. And Earl Nightingale's Strangest Secret seems like a perfect starting point. That powerful central thesis, you become what you think about.
Nightingale's central thesis is incredibly powerful and, like you said, worth repeating. We become what we think about.
Simple but deep.
He argues this isn't just a feel-good platitude, it's a fundamental law of the universe. As consistent as gravity, he suggests.
How does he illustrate that?
He uses a compelling analogy of a ship. A ship without a clear destination, without a captain or a navigational chart. It just drifts aimlessly, right?
At the mercy of the currents.
Or is at the mercy of every current and storm. Eventually becomes a derelict, maybe sinks. Similarly, he asserts a human being without clear, conscious goals,
No destination.
without a defined destination for their thoughts and actions, can't go any place purposefully. They just drift, reacting to circumstances rather than creating them.
This is a direct challenge, then, to consider the immense power of conscious, directed thought.
It is. Nightingale claims that if you truly grasp this secret, consciously apply it, it will alter your life immediately.
Immediately.
That's what he says, attracting good luck, diminishing fear and anxiety, because you're now operating with purpose.
It underscores that profound link between our internal mental states and our external results.
Between what we consistently focus on and what manifests in our lives. Yeah.
So the question for you, the listener, is, what are your clear, overarching goals that you are consistently thinking about?
Building on that, Tony Robbins further unpacks this connection, the link between our internal world and external performance.
Right, with his concept of neurophysiological states.
Exactly. He explains that our ability to perform, to achieve, even just to enjoy life, is profoundly influenced by these internal states.
So positive states lead to success.
Generally, yeah. Positive states like confidence, focus, joy, they naturally lead to success and effective action. While negative states, fear, frustration, overwhelm, they consistently lead to failure or inaction.
And recognizing these states is the first step.
Recognizing these states within yourself, understanding what triggers them, how they manifest, is the crucial first step toward intentional change.
So these states aren't just random. Robbins dives into how they arise from our internal representation.
Our mental pictures, how we interpret things.
Right. How we visualize, interpret, make sense of the world and our experiences and our physiological conditions.
Which includes our posture, breathing, muscle tension, even facial expressions. Our emotional and behavioral responses are profoundly shaped by these interconnected factors, along with our past experiences and, crucially, our deeply held beliefs.
Beliefs are key here.
Precisely. Robbins asserts that beliefs are foundational.
Foundational.
Your belief in your ability to achieve a goal can either open or shut down pathways to success.
So if you believe you can.
If you genuinely believe you can achieve something, you will instinctively find the means, overcome obstacles, persevere. If you believe you can't, well, you'll likely find every reason to prove yourself right.
He provides some compelling data too, right, from that Yale study.
Yes, the famous Yale study on goal setting from 1953. Among the graduating class, only 3% had clear written goals for their future
Only 3%.
and written down.
Written down. 20 years later, those 3% were earning more money than the other 97% combined.
Wow, combined.
And they reported significantly higher levels of satisfaction and achievement.
That's incredibly powerful. It's concrete evidence for the power of intentional thought and specifically written goals.
It really is. It moves beyond abstract ideas to show how mental discipline, clarity, translates into tangible long-term achievement.
It truly begs the question, if you have it already, do you have clear, deeply considered, and written goals guiding your daily actions and aspirations?
Good question.
Building on that theme of internal conviction, Les Brown offers a deeply personal and moving perspective on faith, persistence, and the profound importance of self-forgiveness.
Right, his story about his mother.
Yes, his mother's unwavering belief in him, despite external circumstances, despite neighbors and teachers dismissing him as a heavy load.
Yeah, a slow learner, even labeled educable, mentally retarded.
Yet her mantra was simple but profoundly empowering. You must walk by faith and not by sight.
Which wasn't just religious, was it?
No, it was a directive to believe in potential, even when external evidence was lacking.
His mother, she had absolutely no idea of how she was going to support us when they were young, raising 8 children.
Yet she proceeded to do whatever it took, day after day.
That's a powerful demonstration of commitment, vision, unwavering effort, even when the clear way isn't visible.
It's about acting on belief, despite uncertainty.
And Brown also offers a practical, almost cathartic exercise, doesn't he, for shedding past burdens.
He does. He advises writing down all your bad habits, faults, mistakes.
Get it all out.
Get it all out. Then, after acknowledging them, tearing the paper up and throwing it away.
Letting it go.
The key is to forgive yourself for your faults and your mistakes and move on. He emphasizes that each of us has a basic goodness that is the foundation for what we can ultimately achieve.
That connects self-belief, external support, and active self-forgiveness, clearing the internal path forward.
Absolutely. And he powerfully quotes Burton Braley's poem for courage. If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, with the help of God, you will get it.
It's about combining that unrelenting pursuit with deep self-acceptance.
That's it.
That's a perfect lead-in to Zig Ziglar, who reinforces the power of persistence and hope, almost as a spiritual and practical imperative.
He does. He often quotes Calvin Coolidge, offering what I think is one of the most powerful statements on perseverance ever.
Which one is that?
Press on. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. The world is full of unsuccessful people with talent.
True.
Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education alone will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent.
Omnipotent. Wow.
That quote alone is a masterclass in resilience, a stark reminder that inherent ability, intellectual capacity, while valuable.
They're often secondary to sheer will.
Exactly. Ziegler then uses that vivid analogy of the water pump.
Right, the old hand pump.
Yeah, when you walk up to an old hand pump, you can't tell from the outside how many strokes it will take to get water to flow. Could be 1, could be 50.
You just don't know.
But if you will pump long enough, hard enough, and enthusiastically enough, sooner or later the effort will bring forth the reward.
You have to keep going.
He warns that stopping on third base or trying to quench your thirst with water that almost comes out, it just won't work. The reward is only for those who persist until the goal is achieved.
He illustrates this with that powerful, incredibly moving story of the Lockchick family, right?
Yes, their son David, diagnosed with cerebral palsy. The doctors delivered a difficult prognosis, but also a challenging directive.
What did they say?
They instructed his parents to push him beyond all human endurance and then push him some more, stressing that consistency, unrelenting effort, unwavering belief were absolutely critical.
To give David any chance of overcoming his challenges.
Exactly. This anecdote powerfully conveys that sustained, deliberate, consistent effort, even when the outcome is uncertain or seems hopeless.
It's the ultimate determinant.
It is. It provides a practical, tangible image for maintaining motivation through difficult times, reminding us that sometimes the only way through is to keep pumping, even when the well seems dry.
It's a profound aha moment, tying together that internal conviction of Les Brown and Tony Robbins with the absolute necessity of relentless action that Ziglar champions.
Okay, so now that we've deeply explored the inner game, the mindset, belief, persistence that drive personal achievement, let's shift our focus. Let's look at the outer game, communication, influence, and collective impact.
Makes sense.
Because it's not enough just to know what you want, right?
Mm,
You also need to effectively communicate it, inspire others.
absolutely essential.
We'll start with the foundations of persuasion, ancient and modern strategies, and who better to begin with than, well, Aristotle, his foundational insights on rhetoric.
Aristotle provides what is truly a foundational toolkit for understanding human persuasion, and it's remarkably relevant today.
Still, after all this time, absolutely. He explained that rhetoric involves not just logic, but a profound understanding of human emotions.
Right, pathos.
Pathos, exactly. He discusses emotions like pity, which can be blocked by righteous indignation, if the audience feels the victim deserved their fate,
Ah, ew.
or envy, which he defines as pain at the mere fact that others possess good things. Interestingly, he contrasts this with emulation,
Emulation.
which is a more positive form of pain or longing that inspires self-improvement, rather than wishing ill upon others.
So an orator could use this how?
Well, they might evoke pity for a victim by showing their innocence, or inspire emulation by highlighting the achievements of a rival, motivating the audience to strive for similar greatness.
So it's not just what you say, but how you tap into human psychology, carefully selecting those emotional levers that will resonate.
Precisely. This is crucial for anyone seeking to influence.
Yeah.
And he also talked about the structure of arguments, logo.
Logos, right?
Exactly. He discusses arguments and syllogisms, logical deductions. A key rhetorical tool he identified is the enthymeme,
The enthymeme.
which is essentially an apparent syllogism where one of the premises is unstated. It allows the audience to fill in the blank, making the argument feel more intuitive, more persuasive.
Like connecting the dots yourself.
Kind of. For example, knowing parts of a battleship means understanding the battleship as a whole. A rhetorician might detail the parts and let the audience conclude the nature of the ship.
Okay.
He also introduced the concept of the power of display, or epideixis,
Epidasis.
where virtues or vices are put on show. Think of a political speech. A candidate details the good deeds of a community hero to inspire civic pride displaying virtue,
Right.
or highlights the negative consequences of an opponent's past actions to evoke disapproval displaying vice. It's about painting a vivid picture through action and example, not just abstract statements.
That's a profound way of understanding not just what to say, but how human psychology responds, a much richer understanding of persuasion. And Cicero, in his De Oratore, takes us even further, doesn't he? Emphasizing the eloquent and empathetic speaker, almost demanding a spiritual connection with the audience.
What's fascinating here is Cicero's belief that an orator must deeply understand all animora modus, all the movements of the soul that nature bestows upon humanity.
Movements of the soul.
Yeah, he argues that all force and reason in speaking must be expressed in the minds of those who listen, either in calming or exciting them.
So it implies the speaker needs not just intellectual command, but profound emotional intelligence.
An ability to truly resonate with the inner world of their audience, yes.
And he also touched on the importance of modesty and wit, didn't he? Noting how Crassus's marvelous kind of modesty actually enhanced his oratory.
Alongside the importance of humor, or lepus quidam facetiae, as he put it.
It suggests that authenticity and maybe a lighter touch can make a speaker more relatable, more persuasive.
Absolutely. And Quintilian, a later Roman rhetorician, provides incredibly vivid commentary on Cicero's approach.
What did he say?
He describes how an orator must actually believe that the ills of which we complain have befallen our own selves, and feel their suffering as though it were our own.
Truly feel it.
Yes. He recounts seeing actors, and even himself, being moved to tears, pale with genuine grief when delivering powerful speeches.
Wow.
This shows that true rhetorical power isn't just logical, or even just about intellectually understanding emotions. It's deeply empathetic, emotionally resonant.
The speaker must connect with, even embody, the feelings they wish to evoke. Make the message not just heard, but felt.
Exactly.
But this power of persuasion also has its critics. Plato, through Socrates, offered a profound critique, cautioning against persuasion divorced from truth.
Right. In Gorgias, Plato presents Socrates distinguishing sharply between conviction based on knowledge, which must be true, founded on facts or reason, and conviction based on belief, which could be true or false.
And Gorgias, the orator, puts his art on the side of belief without needing knowledge.
Yes, which raises that crucial ethical question. Is power without the knowledge to be good, true power? Socrates asserts that nobody knowingly does wrong.
Meaning people act based on what they believe is good, even if they're mistaken.
That's the implication. Therefore, the happiest person is the one free from wickedness, guided by true knowledge.
So, for Plato, the pursuit of goodness leads to the soul's improvement. Knowledge of truth is essential to avoid deception.
Precisely. He even criticized writing and set speeches in Phaedrus,
Why?
arguing they can't answer back or adapt to the listener. They can't be truly educational. Only philosophical dialogue, that dynamic give and take, can lead to genuine understanding and virtue.
It encourages critical thinking about the ethics of persuasion, then. Is it just about winning an argument or leading people towards truth and genuine good?
It's a vital distinction, and one that Quintilian attempts to synthesize in his Institutio Oratoria.
How does he synthesize it?
He defines rhetoric not just as the art of persuasion, but as the science of speaking well. Its highest aim being to speak well, implying both effectiveness and ethical responsibility.
He addresses the criticisms, too, that it can be misused.
He does. He argues that any powerful tool, like a sword, can be used for ill, but that doesn't diminish its inherent value when wielded by a virtuous person.
He also asserted that everything which art has brought to perfection originated in nature. So natural ability is the starting point.
Yes, but true oratory existed before it was taught as an art. Reaching its pinnacle, true eloquence is ultimately a product of disciplined art and cultivation.
And he outlined those 3 pillars for acquiring
The
eloquence.
3 interconnected pillars: writing, reading, and speaking. He stresses they're intertwined. Neglecting one wastes effort on the others.
You need all 3.
You need all 3. You can't speak well if you haven't read widely and written thoughtfully, for example.
He even compares Demosthenes and Cicero.
Fascinating comparison. Demosthenes, he says, is concentrated, intensely studied. Cicero is more diffuse, natural, excels in wit and exciting pity. He acknowledges Demosthenes' historical precedents influencing Cicero.
Highlighting that lineage of mastery.
Right. But the ultimate reward, the crown of all their studies, he says, is the power of improvisation.
Speaking off the cuff.
The ability to speak eloquently and effectively without preparation. Essential for unexpected situations. Responding to opponents in real-time debate. It signifies true mastery, adaptability.
That's a comprehensive view. Natural ability cultivated through diligent practice and study to achieve true eloquence, true influence.
Precisely.
Okay, now let's look at some inspiring examples of speaking truth to power, voices for change, starting with the incredible resilience and conviction of Sojourner Truth.
Sojourner Truth's voice resonates so powerfully through history. At the 4th National Women's Rights Convention in 1853, she made this profound statement about her own identity.
What does she say?
She said she combined in herself as an individual the 2 most hated elements of humanity. She was black and she was a woman.
Wow, that's direct.
She faced open insults, hostility from some in the audience, yet stood calm and dignified. Immense inner strength, unwavering conviction, refusing to be silenced or intimidated.
She then declared with incredible force, "We'll have our rights, see if we don't."
And asserted, there never will be a fight without it is a fight for rights. Her confidence was so profound, she stated she intended to shake every place I go to on human rights.
She even expressed that personal desire, right, to vote.
Yeah, to sojourn once to the ballot box before I die, just to see if a woman's vote looks any different from the rest, if it makes any stir or commotion.
Sojourner Truth exemplifies the power of a single, determined voice, challenging entrenched prejudices, igniting movements, using wit, personal experience, unyielding conviction.
She didn't just speak truth to power. She embodied it, making her presence, her words, a powerful force for change, a remarkable waypaver.
And building on that, Elizabeth Cady Stanton with her Declaration of Sentiments at Seneca Falls in 1848, a direct, meticulously reasoned demand for equality.
It echoed the Declaration of Independence in structure, didn't it?
It did. Stanton's document meticulously detailed a list of grievances, highlighting the systemic oppression faced by women.
Like what specifically?
Denial of thorough education, subordinate positions in church and state, a different, often hypocritical moral code for men and women.
Which ultimately destroyed women's self-confidence, she argued.
Exactly. Her call to action was clear, unequivocal, immediate admission to all the rights and privileges which belong to them as citizens.
And she expected opposition.
Fully expected, no small amount of misconception, misrepresentation, and ridicule, but vowed to use every instrumentality within our power to achieve their goals.
That document shows a direct, reasoned demand for justice. Anticipating resistance but committing to persistent action. a powerful testament to rhetorical force.
Then there's Patrick Henry. His call to arms for liberty, give me liberty or give me death. Speech in 1775, legendary for igniting a revolution.
Henry's speech is a masterclass in rousing a populace to action. Powerful appeals to urgency, honor.
He asserted that if they wished to be free from British rule,
We must fight. He directly confronted the prevailing argument that they were weak, unable to cope with so formidable an adversary.
how?
By asking, when shall we be stronger? He dismantled every counter-argument with rhetorical questions, forcing listeners to confront that inevitable choice, submission or rebellion.
His powerful rhetoric shifted perceptions of strength, necessity, inspired a nation to embrace the profound risk of revolution.
Absolutely shifted the mindset.
Moving forward to the 20th century, Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, 1963, an unparalleled example of speaking truth to power with moral conviction and aspirational vision.
King's core message was that America, despite its founding ideals, had defaulted on its promise of liberty and justice for all citizens, specifically Black Americans.
Giving them a bad check.
A bad check marked insufficient funds. His refusal to be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. It wasn't just a demand for equality.
It was a spiritual, moral imperative.
Yes. And he acknowledged that many in his audience had come out of great trials and tribulations, from narrow jail cells, brutal confrontations, connecting deeply with their shared suffering and resilience.
King's speech, delivered at such a challenging time, highlights the enduring power of moral conviction, eloquent language, a compelling vision.
To mobilize vast numbers of people for social change, even when facing overwhelming opposition.
Theodore Roosevelt's new nationalism also focused on public service, national ideals, linking individual integrity with the health of the nation.
Roosevelt's speech, delivered in 1910, emphasized making political representatives more quickly and sensitively responsive to the people whose servants they are.
Accountability.
Deep belief in the accountability of elected officials to the public good. He famously stated his belief that no public servant who is worth his salt should hesitate to stand by his conscience.
Right.
And if necessary, to surrender his office rather than to yield his conscientious conviction. Underscoring his belief in moral fortitude in leadership.
Yeah, and on foreign policy.
He advocated for the peace of justice, the peace of righteousness, arguing a nation must show cordial and sincere friendship, but also be no less insistent that we are not wronged ourselves, advocating for strength to deter aggression, ensure fair play.
His words underscore the importance of integrity, accountability, a clear moral compass in leadership.
Linking individual conviction to national policy and a vision for a just society.
And John F. Kennedy's inaugural address, 1961, a brilliant example of articulating global responsibility, cooperation, inspiring a generation towards collective action.
Kennedy's inaugural was a masterpiece of hopeful, challenging rhetoric. He pledged efforts to help developing nations, not because the communists may be doing it, but because it is right.
Shifting motivation from geopolitics to morality.
Exactly. He renewed fervent support for the United Nations, calling it our last best hope, pledged to strengthen its shield of the new and the weak.
And reaching out to adversaries.
In a bold gesture during the Cold War, he required that both sides begin anew the quest for peace, appealing to shared humanity over ideological divides.
Kennedy's address is a powerful example of using rhetoric to articulate a shared vision. Global responsibility, justice, pursuit of peace.
Demonstrating a leader's ability to unite and inspire across divides through a compelling moral vision and call to service.
So we've seen these grand historical examples, but this also applies to our everyday interactions, right?
Absolutely.
Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People offers timeless, practical wisdom for that.
Carnegie's core advice is deceptively simple, yet profoundly effective. Think always in terms of other people's point of view and see things from their angle.
But not manipulation.
No, he clarifies that this is not to be construed as manipulating that person so that he will do something that is only for your benefit and his detriment. Instead, he emphasizes that truly effective communication leads to mutual benefit.
The win-win.
Each party should gain from the negotiation. He gives examples like Mrs. Anderson negotiating with the bank by understanding their rules first, or John, the insurance salesman, closing a deal by focusing on the client's family security concerns, not just policy features.
That's a true aha moment right there, isn't it? Shifting persuasion from a zero-sum game to collaboration.
Effective influence, then, is rooted in genuine empathy, understanding, leading to mutually advantageous outcomes, not one-sided gains or manipulation.
Finding the win-win.
Absolutely. And Tony Robbins takes this understanding of interpersonal dynamics a step further, with rapport and metaprograms.
Offering practical tools for deeper connection.
He defines rapport as the ability to connect with others, highlighting it as essential for effective communication because people are fundamentally more receptive, more open when they feel understood and connected to you.
How do you build it?
He recommends practicing rapport by consciously observing and subtly mirroring others' gestures, tone of voice, breathing patterns, posture, to create that subconscious sense of connection and trust.
And he introduces meta-programs, those unconscious filters.
Yes, sorting patterns in our minds, influencing how we perceive the world, make decisions. Understanding these allows for incredibly tailored communication.
Can you give us some examples of how these work?
Certainly. Take the toward versus away from metaprogram. People motivated toward are driven by what they want to achieve, pleasure, gain, goals.
So you talk about benefits.
Opportunities, benefits, positive outcomes. Conversely, away from motivated individuals are driven by avoiding pain, problems, what they don't want.
How do you connect with them?
You'd emphasize how your solution helps them avoid risks, mitigate issues, prevent negative consequences.
Okay, another example.
The internal versus external frame of reference. Those with an internal frame rely on their own internal sense of achievement, gut feeling, self-judgment for validation.
So just give them the facts.
Present facts and let them decide. An external frame individual, however, looks for validation, feedback from others.
So you'd use testimonials?
Testimonials, social proof, reassurance that others approve. Understanding these tools allows for a more nuanced, effective approach to influencing others.
Enabling you to tailor your message to their fundamental motivations, processing styles, leading to deeper connection and impact.
Precisely.
Okay, as we transition into our final section, cultivating resilience and a wholehearted life, navigating the human condition, it's clear life's journey isn't always smooth, is it?
Far from it.
We all face adversity, sometimes profound humiliation that can shape us in unexpected ways. Russell Conwell, the Acres of Diamonds guy, experienced this himself, deeply.
He did. Conwell spoke of his Yale days with great pain, not from the hard work or academics,
No.
but from personal humiliations due to his severe lack of money.
Yeah.
These weren't just discomforts. They were deeply felt slights, embarrassments, the sting of social inferiority.
And it stayed with him.
He mentioned it still caused him suffering after more than half a century. Yet he concluded, out of those very humiliations came a marvelous result, implying those painful experiences forged in him a resilience, a drive, that later fueled his incredible philanthropic work, like founding Temple University.
So profound struggles, even those bringing shame, can be crucibles for future strengths and purpose.
Adversity, when navigated, shapes character in unexpected, often profound ways.
That's a powerful idea. Suffering transformed into something meaningful. But some adversities are almost unfathomable, like those Elie Wiesel bore witness to. The burden of carrying such profound memory.
Wiesel, a Holocaust survivor, Nobel laureate, he recounted his despairing fight to remember. Hundreds of people, thousands of people, anonymous, wanderers in the night, going to the flames.
Agonizing that he couldn't remember them all.
Yes, he grappled with profound questions. Whether memory and imposing it on future generations is possible, is fair, recognizing the immense impossible scope. I cannot remember everything.
Yet he felt a duty.
Yet he profoundly states, all those who are our students, our children, and who listen to our tale become custodians of that tale.
Wow. Custodians of the tale.
It explores the profound psychological, ethical challenge of bearing witness to immense suffering, the dilemma of memory, highlighting the importance of sharing difficult truths while acknowledging the limits of human recall.
It resonates with the responsibility we all have to history, to each other's stories.
It does.
And Zig Ziglar sheds light on the terrifying fragility of belief under extreme pressure, using that stark, disturbing example of brainwashing during the Korean War.
He describes how American POWs were subjected to 10, 12 hours of relentless communist propaganda from skilled interrogators.
Often without sleep or food.
Yes. Systematically challenging every belief they held, political, personal, even their own identity. Prisoners would eventually throw in the towel, accept beliefs, not out of conviction,
but just to get rest.
just to get a moment's rest or relief.
Yeah.
Demonstrating how physical and mental exhaustion can utterly break down psychological resistance.
And the tormentors kept going.
They had no intention of letting them sleep, continuing the garbage relentlessly. constant draining pressure.
It provides a stark example of how extreme deprivation, sustained psychological pressure, can fundamentally alter beliefs, self-perception.
Offering a crucial understanding of coercion mechanisms, how vulnerable the human mind can be without rest, truth, genuine human connection. It reminds us of the importance of protecting our minds, our core beliefs.
It really does. Now, navigating these challenges, cultivating a wholehearted life, a life of purpose and connection, demands deep self-understanding.
Especially our relationship with ourselves, maybe.
Yes, exactly. And this resonates so strongly with Les Brown's earlier point about self-forgiveness and our basic goodness.
Absolutely. When Brown advises us to forgive yourself for your faults and your mistakes and move on, emphasizing the way to your dreams is now clear.
He's talking about releasing that burden.
Essentially, yeah, releasing the shame that holds us back, the fear that our imperfections make us unworthy. He reiterates that each of us has a basic goodness that is the foundation for what we can ultimately achieve.
It reinforces that profound idea. Self-acceptance, rooted in our innate worthiness, releasing past burdens, they're crucial steps.
Anchoring personal growth in an inherent sense of belonging and worthiness. Yes.
Kurt Vonnegut, in his wonderfully idiosyncratic, deeply human way, delves into universal loneliness, the importance of genuine connection.
And he even coined that evocative term, empathy deficit disorder, EDD.
Right. Vonnegut speaks of universal human loneliness and boredom, suggesting humans aren't designed for isolated lives.
He posits we are supposed to live in stable, like-minded, extended families of 50 people or more.
50 people.
Yeah, and that modern marriage often struggles because a man cannot be a whole society to a woman, and a woman cannot be a whole society to a man, highlighting our deep-seated need for broader community.
He calls for generational unity,
urging us to think of ourselves as brothers and sisters, bound by shared humanity. His discovery of EDD critiques a ready rush to empathy as the answer to all the world's ills.
pointing out how selective we often are.
Exactly. Mourning a single child in a well while ignoring millions suffering from genocide. His prescription, his cure for EDD, is linking empathy to reason and action.
Not just feeling, but doing.
And he powerfully states that hope isn't a choice, it's a moral obligation, it's a human obligation, it's an obligation to the cells in your body.
Wow. That's intense.
He says with stark poetic force, lose your hope and you lose your soul. It's not just a sentiment, it's a directive to actively cultivate and maintain hope, connecting it to our very essence.
Vonnegut's insights challenge simplistic views of empathy then, urging a more robust, reasoned, actionable form of compassion.
His emphasis on shared humanity and hope as a moral duty provides a powerful framework for navigating complex societal problems, fostering true connection. It's about not just feeling for others, but taking reasoned action based on that feeling.
Speaking of making a profound human impact, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, an exemplary waypaver and path marker for gender equality, demonstrating wholehearted commitment and strategic action.
Justice Ginsburg consistently embodied humility, collective spirit, always giving credit to those who came before her, acknowledging progress is built on the efforts of many, not just individual heroes.
And she was instrumental in shaping legal arguments.
Meticulously masterminding briefs in Supreme Court cases, laying the groundwork for gender equality, earning her the apt title, the Thurgood Marshall of the women's movement.
But her approach was strategic, tempered.
Yes, she believed the court generally follows rather than leads social change, serving to reinforce or signaling a green light without taking giant strides and thereby risking a backlash.
She cited Roe v. Wade as an example of that.
She did, noting it halted a political process moving in a reform direction, causing deeper divisiveness and a backlash she felt might have been avoidable with a more incremental approach.
President Clinton reflected she had both the intellectual capacity and an instinctive and immediate understanding of the human implications.
That combination of sharp intellect and profound empathy must have been incredibly powerful.
Ginsburg's approach highlights the long game of social change, built on incremental but persistent efforts, and the profound responsibility of leaders to understand human consequences.
It's a testament to progress achieved with a wholehearted commitment to justice, tempered by wisdom and strategic patience. Her work truly exemplified Vonnegut's call for empathy, linked to reason and action.
This brings us to the power of choice and continuous improvement, reinforcing that our path forward is shaped by deliberate decisions, ongoing effort. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, offers timeless wisdom here.
Seneca asserted, drawing from Socrates, that The highest wisdom consisted in distinguishing between good and evil, and that if virtue dwells with you, you will suffer nothing.
Implying profound inner peace, resilience.
Yes, even amidst external turmoil. Crucially, he states, no man is good by chance. Virtue is something which must be learned.
Challenging the idea of inherent goodness without effort.
Emphasizing virtue as an active, cultivated discipline. He describes 3 classes of those making progress towards wisdom, highlighting that even those not far away is still outside.
Still on slippery ground.
Still standing upon slippery ground if they haven't put good into practice with tested assurance. It's a continuous journey, not a destination easily reached.
So for Seneca, philosophy isn't just knowing abstract principles, but actively doing.
These principles must be practically tested in the crucible of real-life situations.
It speaks to that ongoing active journey of ethical development, reminding us true wisdom, goodness are cultivated through persistent learning, self-reflection, consistent application.
Not simply inherited or stumbled upon. It's a continuous, intentional process, requiring courage to be imperfect in your learning, constantly striving.
Viktor Frankl, from his profound, harrowing experiences in Nazi concentration camps, offers a transformative perspective, finding meaning in suffering, the power of living second chances.
Frankl introduces the concept of supermachna, supermeaning, which he posits must exceed and transcend the limited intellectual capacity of human beings. This isn't a call to live a meaningless life.
But to accept a larger meaning we might not grasp.
Exactly. Yet we can choose to align with it. This acceptance can be a powerful source of resilience. His profound advice, born from extreme adversity, is, well, it's powerful.
What is it?
Hiduplah seakan-akan Anda hidup untuk kedua kalinya, dan bertindaklah seakan-akan Anda sedang bersiap-siap untuk melakukan kesalahan yang pertama kalinya.
Which translates to,
live as if you were living already for the second time, and as if you had acted as wrongly the first time as you were about to act now.
Wow. That framing encourages profound self-reflection, personal responsibility.
Seeing every moment as a precious second chance to choose rightly, he also developed paradoxical intention.
A therapeutic technique.
For conditions caused by anticipated fear, like insomnia, a person anxious about not sleeping is told to intentionally try not to sleep. Shifting focus from the fear often allows them to fall asleep.
And he criticized society's focus.
Criticized society's over-orientation towards success in youth, which neglects all that does not belong to the category. Warning against a culture that devalues the elderly, the suffering, those who don't fit narrow definitions of achievement.
Frankl's work offers a transformative perspective then. Finding purpose, even in immense suffering, the power of reframing, self-awareness, personal responsibility.
Finding meaning, even in difficult times, a cornerstone of deep resilience, a wholehearted life where every moment is treated as a profound opportunity.
Finally, Tony Robbins brings us back to practical steps for continuous improvement, modeling excellence, actively visioning the future.
Robbins advocates for modeling the behaviors of successful individuals to achieve desired results.
Success leaves clues.
That's his premise. If you can understand and replicate the strategies, beliefs, actions of those who excel, you can achieve similar outcomes. He notes master communicators, for example, perceive details others may overlook.
Like Astor watching the bonnets.
Exactly. Detailed observation is critical. He strongly recommends proactively visualizing your future. First, define where your current path leads if you don't change.
Okay.
Then create a detailed list of your ideal dreams, goals. Reflect on resources you already have. Identify key goals. And finally, visualize success daily using submodalities.
Submodality.
Making your mental images brighter, bigger, more vivid, bringing in sounds, feelings, fully immersing yourself in the desired future. His core message, tying back to the inner game,
is that success requires action.
urging us to become a doer, not just a thinker.
This provides practical, actionable steps for personal transformation, stressing learning from others, proactively shaping one's future through clear vision, consistent action.
Taking ownership of your destiny. #outro.
We've covered so much ground today on the deep dive. From the ancient wisdom of Aristotle and Cicero to the modern insights of Conwell, Nightingale, Robbins.
A really wide range.
We've seen how those acres of diamonds are indeed within reach, often requiring that internal shift in mindset, crystal clarity of purpose, and the unwavering courage to act and communicate effectively.
We've reinforced the idea that the power to shape your life, influence the world around you, begins with conscious thought, persistent effort, even facing deep-seated challenges, societal pressures.
The powerful voices for change we've heard, Sojourner Truth, Martin Luther King Jr., remind us a profound impact often comes from unyielding conviction, the courage to speak truth.
These insights are powerful tools for you to apply in your own life. To find your own opportunities, refine your communication strategies, lead with empathy, build that unwavering resilience.
We encourage your continued self-reflection, active engagement with your environment, and, most importantly, your inner world.
It starts within.
So we'll leave you with this provocative thought. Building on Conwell's story of the church and university, founded from that humble 57-cent donation,
In Frankel's idea of super meaning,
we've seen how a tiny spark of generosity or a courageous shift in how you frame your entire life can lead to monumental achievements. A grand church, a thriving university, or a life lived with profound purpose, authentic connection.
so the question is,
Now that you've glimpsed the diamonds within your own grasp, what will you excavate? What will you build? And what legacy will you dare to leave behind that truly transcends your immediate sight and resonates with your deepest purpose?
thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time, keep digging.